Okay, and today we looked at independent versus dependent. The independent variable in it, when we go to graph it, the independent variable is normally along the bottom, and it's going to be our x-axis, and then the y-axis is our dependent variable. So independent variable would be x. It's the one that like tells you which stage you're at along the way, and then the dependent variable depends on whatever x is, and so that's how we set it up historically. And so let's take a look at it in a bunch of different situations. So the number of circles along the bottom C is the independent variable. Yeah, so C would be along this way if we were to graph this, and this is list 2 to 3 dependent variables. In this case, maybe B equals the number of blue circles. Oops, circles. I can do W equals the number of white circles. And maybe like a T equal, well, yeah, that's a good T. Most T's look like a plus sign. Number of total circles. You could have seen these as rectangles that are growing. So maybe you talked about rectangles going in one direction versus rectangles going in, or like the length versus the width, something like that. But whatever you want to talk about, just these things depend on which stage you're at, which step of the problem. And so here we go. If I've got 1 cup of broth, normally I would highlight the where it says 2 cups of each serving, I would underline that, and 2 cups of broth, I would underline that. But this program doesn't allow me to do that there. But I've got a 2 there. If there's 2 cups, I got a 4. If there was 5, it was 10. And if I have 16, it was only because there were 8 servings of soup. And so then we go from here. So which one is the independent variable? The independent variable is the servings of soup, because let's not start with it, because the what was it? Cups of broth. The number of cups of broth depend on how many servings of soup there are. And so I see it going this way, like the number of servings you want requires 2 cups of soup. And then if I were to have a pen, S equals 2B means that, like, I'm just going to look at this very first one, where S was 1 and there were 2 cups of broth. That would say S equals 2 times 2. Or say 1 equals 2 times 2, and 1 does not equal 4. So Karima's sibling is correct. So 1 does not equal 2 times 2, but 2 does equal 2 times 1. And so when I look at it in this one, B2, 2 cups of broth equals 2 times S. And that really shows me that the S is the dependent or the independent. Oh, wait, what happened to it? S is the I keep S is the independent variable, because 2 times it is going to equal what B is, and B depends on what S is. So here we go. 2 to 21. I see that it's like it's 2 times 10 plus 1, but then 4 to get to 40 is 4 times 10 plus 2, and 6 is 4 times 10 plus 3, and 8 is 4 times 10. So I almost set it up like you start with Y, the number of scooters, equals like 10 times x plus 1/2 times x. That would work, but I think they're going to want it, you know, to put all the number parts together. So I'm going to get that it equals 10 and 1/2. Oh, nope, I don't want that. Space 1/2, and then times x. Let's see if it lets me do that once we get to our answers. I might have to change it to a decimal. Coupon for $4 off any items. Well, 10 minus 4 is 6. 22 minus 4 is 18. And then any item D is going to be D minus 4. Submit. Here we go. Visual pattern. Okay. 5. Originally, I drew things like this. I drew like just steps with 5 little blocks in it. But I didn't like how that pattern looked. So I thought about like 5 on a die. Looks kind of like that, but it doesn't expand naturally. And so then I thought, well, what if I make it like a pentagon with a little circle or a dot on each side? So here's stage 1, and then stage 2, it's going to grow like an octopus or like a little person, a pentapus, because it's got 5. And then the third stage would look like that, like a sea star that's growing would be kind of what it is. And so the N represents the step number or the stage number, and the A represents the number of dots or circles, whatever you used. Three squared is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 to the third is 8. 2 times 2 times 2. 2 to the fifth is 32. That one's been come up a lot here lately, probably on the test. And then if x equals 4, I'd get 2 to the third power, which is 8. I'd get 2 to the third power times 2, so 8 times 2 is 16. 2 to the fourth power is 16, minus 6 is 10. And lastly, 1/4 to the third power is going to be 1 over 4 to the third, which is 64. Did I actually get them right? Yay! So it accepted my 10.5x on that one. But if you have any questions, please ask in class. If not, I'll see you in the next video.